This year's Fabula Festival, it's our fifth one now, but it's the second one that's been funded by Arts Council England. It's grown from an original 2-day festival into an 11-day festival. Over the last 2 weeks, we've had a number of events happening across Redbridge Libraries. We've had author events for school children. We had a big event with the winner of our Redbridge Children's Book Awards that over 300 children attended. We've had author events with Guy Bass and Alex Milway, and over 200 children came to those events. We've also had events for adults. We've had an evening with Charles Dickens' great-great-great-great-granddaughter.
Overall, the Fabula Festival kind of represents what the Redbridge Library service is about, from the sort of digital offer to the offer for children and young people.
The festival spans all ages, from very tiny children through to adults. Some of the other highlights that we've had for the festival is drag time, story times with Mama G.
She visited every rhyme time, but Mama G obviously brought a bit of glamour. But what was actually really interesting about her work is that her stories that she read are all about inclusivity.
So we're extending the festival beyond the fabric of the building itself, that the spaces directly outside of our libraries as cultural spaces as well.
We invite families to come in, and there's 6 different areas of the caravan that children can choose to go to. They can go to space, they could go to the deep, they could go to the witch's kitchen.
The poetry takeaway van houses 4 poets. So you come up, you give the ingredients of your poem. So you might say, oh, this is my star sign. And you leave the ingredients of your poem with the poet. You go away, you come back, and then they give you your poem.
It might not even be a great poem, but because you've said something that they find very, very moving, that's the catalyst for making them cry, or it can make them laugh. But it also can deliver the message that you're kind of looking for in your life.
What I love about the author talks in the libraries here and sort of across the borough are that the children they're not just consumers of the story. What they're doing is they're coming along and they're understanding if they want to be an author, if they would like to be an illustrator. So they're actually learning the tools of the trade.
It helps my children engage with other children, but for me as a mum, to meet other mothers and to be able to speak to them, it's such a pleasant social experience.
They've got that connection with the authors, so they've got all these great authors that are just being published.
The authors and people that we've had today, a lot of it is about interaction. So it's not just somebody telling a story and it's a passive audience. It's about an active engagement. So it's getting people to contribute to the story.
Some of the people that I've met at various places around the country and libraries have said afterwards that that's like the first theatre show that their child has been to.
Kids are really unpredictable. They'll shout questions out, they'll get involved, they'll join in with animal noises, and that's always a highlight for me when I can see that they're really enjoying it.
We've had a range of workshops throughout the festival. The comic book workshop is always incredibly popular.
Children relate to pictures a lot quicker than they relate to language or relate to reading. So what we try and do is show them that they can tell stories through comic books, and actually show them that comic books and cartoons are actually a lot more sophisticated, a lot more detailed than they might think. There's different ways to receive and consume information and stories and all that kind of stuff. So having events like this gets children away from screens and away from computers.
Some of the techniques and some of the really simple ways that you can start to draw and how you tell a story through drawing.
They're having fun, but they're learning, they're constantly learning all the time. Really about drawing out people's creativity and hoping that they have a passion for books and reading and culture.
It is a good idea to have a place like this that people can come together and interact.
I've got no doubt that it's inspiring younger people to pursue creativity in digital technology.
Libraries are absolutely important, especially around areas like this one. There's a lot of deprivation, particularly in South Ilford. In fact, we should not be closing any libraries. We should be expanding them because the population is growing in Redbridge.
When families and children come into the library, I want them to be inspired. I want them to feel that it's a magical space.
It's what we would love to see across the country, not libraries being cut, but libraries actually becoming the centre of the community.
The way we operate in Vision is that we feel that the community deserves the best. We constantly continue to give more and more back to the community and help them, enable them to shape the programmes for future years.